Yeah. I think. That makes you sit in for that.
No, I think they say he's very, he's always been this way, very vocal about it.
Sure.
And he,
Sure.
you're carrying, you might be carrying on a conversation, he's sitting beside you. Well, tell me how you walk across it.
Yeah.
I need to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times they'll ask a question. And I need to answer that. What answer is he looking for?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It ended up being, Tommy Goodson. And, picking up for your mom and dad, me and those years. And then the person I can't remember his name. That came Friday. But anyway, pretty good. Yes. We had him come out with tea to arrest him. We used to go about every Sunday night. And I was really late yesterday. Everybody was sitting around that day, at a separate table, but it's just one room. You know, we should. Y'all are gonna be there. Y'all are gonna be in that. You know, it's Christian. Fire pastors.
We have 2 months in the following Monday,
Happy birthday, man. All right, all right, thank you.
It is 9 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and call this administrative meeting to order. I appreciate everybody being here today. We are doing things a little bit different today. We have our admin meeting at 9, our regular meeting at 10, and that's because we did not meet because of the state holiday last week. And I'll talk about this again at 10 o'clock, but we will not have an admin meeting at our normal time for the next meeting as well. We won't meet again after today until November the 27th. We'll have our administrative meeting again at 9 and our regular meeting again at 10. So anyway, I've got some other announcements, but I'll save them for the regular meeting. Anybody else have anything they wanted to talk about real quick before we got started? So you want to wait till 10 o'clock? Okay.
Just a little reminder, I've got a televisit this morning for a surgery for next week.
That's
Right
right.
now, 15, I may have to step down if we're not finished by that time.
You said 9:15, you got to step
Yes,
down? Okay, okay. We'll try to go quick, but if it runs over, I won't throw anything at you.
Hey, we let Curtis, we'll be finished in about 4 minutes.
Oh, I know. Before I log on the meeting's over.
Standards have been set.
Yeah, okay. All right, we have one item under awards and presentations. That's the fourth quarter service anniversary. Sherry Garner will do that. That's always a fun thing to do. And thank you for making that suggestion and leading those efforts. That's been, I think, well received. Any questions about that? Any objection for that item going on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. All righty. Item number 1 under the regular agenda is a request to adopt resolution approving one-time exemption of debt payment prohibition for the Houston County EMS Association regarding Wicksburg Fire Rescue. So, gentlemen, if you remember, we've done this once before for Cottonwood. And Wicksburg has come to us with a similar request. I think they owe money on a stretcher, if I'm not mistaken. And so they're asking for the ability to pay that debt off. And
No objection.
stretcher was something that was approved under the MOU, so I don't see any problems with that. So any objection to that item going on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay. Item number 2 is to adopt resolution for adjusted expenditure of American Rescue Plan Act funds for government services due to change order. Mr. Covert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has to do with the Homeland Security Building out at Ennis Road. There was a change order required as the footprint of the building had changed between initial design and planning for the water lines running out to that property. And so with this change in the footprint, the water lines had to make an extension to reach their intended terminal. And so this change order covers that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's been an interesting project.
So how much more is this change order? Is it more or less or what?
What's it, $9,000? Yeah, I think it was 9,000.
I've got here $14,202.50. Am I looking at the right thing?
I think there were 2 pieces to that.
Oh, okay.
And one was to, oh my gosh, sorry, I can't remember. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Maybe Tyler's got the answer.
Okay, so you come,
Yeah,
Tyler.
thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, the 14,000 is the total for both.
Okay.
Okay.
Things, so it's 14,000. The city of Dothan, we had the original plan for EMA to be out there.
Yes.
We approved for them to run the water lines. They ran the water lines based on the building with EMA in there.
Gotcha.
The building shrunk.
Yeah.
The line was in place and it just didn't call for it to bid out.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this item? Any objections for this item going on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 3 is a request to adopt resolution 2, extend funding agreement for expenditure of American Rescue Plan Act funds. Mr. Covert.
Oh, thank you. Yes. This is the Houston County Water Authority, as I recall. There was some concern that, no, I'm sorry, this is Taylor.
Okay.
There was some concern that they would not be able to fully execute and be reimbursed by the end of the original subrecipient agreement end date. And so we're extending the end date so that we don't go over that date for their final reimbursement.
Gotcha.
So this is sort of just administrative cleanup.
So we're extending it from November 28th to December
31st.
1st. Okay. Okay. All right, any questions on this item?
No objection.
Hearing no objection, I'll add this to the agenda. Ready to go. All right, item number 4 is a request to approve capital replacement fund budget amendment for jail kitchen remodel. Mr. Cover.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you may recall, in the original bid for the jail meal services, there was included a anticipation for the jail remodel to occur. And that was a part and parcel of the bid document itself. This is the bill that has come in for that mobile kitchen that was down there. And I'm proposing, like with the other jail remodel costs, that this comes out of that capital replacement fund that the commission has funded this year. And by the way, it was increased over the normal annual amount to sort of accommodate for this change. Yeah, but as in accordance with county policy, any monies that are expended out of this fund, even though it's already approved in the budget, still needs to come before the commission to request their approval.
Gotcha. Okay. Any questions on this item?
I do have a question on this.
Yes.
In reference to the broken equipment that they first initially sent that prolonged this remodel, are they deducting any of that from any of the fees
I
that they're
tried,
charging the county?
no, sir, they are not. I tried desperately to get them to compensate us for the delay that event caused. But back and forth with our vendor, there was no provision in our agreement, our contract over this agreement that allows for that kind of a contingency. I have learned from that. That will not happen again.
Yeah, it's crazy. You pay for something and you assume that it's going to work when it shows up, but nevertheless, here we are. So, yeah, and it's not very often that we rent a mobile kitchen anyway. So, but anyway, any other questions? Any objection to this item going on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 5 is a request to approve in-kind services for site work for the city of Dothan related to the regional laboratory for the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences building. Mr. County Engineer.
This is just a request from the city and the state, that they're gonna build this building here in Dothan. We have like a conceptual drawing. We don't really have our final plans yet, but they're asking us to roof grade the site, small site,
Yeah.
probably 2 to 4 weeks worth of work. So,
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about this project for, I think, a few years now, going back even to Chairman Culver's days. I don't know what's kind of drug it out, but, as the 2 deputies on the commission know, there's a big delay in getting these types of tests back from the state. And so this should speed that up. So it is an important project. I know we've got we're committed for a good while, which I think the city of Dothan knows that. So we're going to get to it when we get to it. We're not going to stop working on what we're working on and run over there and do it unless something opens up and they can knock it out. But anyway, any questions on this item?
No, we're just approving and it's going, I guess, we're gonna start doing the clearing and everything when? Is there a projected time or we're
when we get
waiting?
Plans.
When we get
We
plans?
don't have final set of plans yet, but they're getting close. They just requested it. It's kind of been on our backlog of work because I knew we were gonna do it, but it had never come before y'all. So that's why we were putting it before y'all now.
We usually request with an estimate, but we don't have an
Don't
estimate.
have
right?
plans yet.
Okay.
It's kind of-
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's something we're gonna, I'm sure we're going to approve.
Yeah,
But it's one of those deals that I know they put, I think the state's put somewhere around $6 million or $7 million in the
Yeah.
budget for this project. It's just our in-kind service.
The only cost would be labor equipment.
Right.
And no materials involved. Anything like
If it was a major site, I might want to say, let's hold off until we get an estimate, but if it's a small site and you can knock it out in a few weeks, then I don't have a problem with it unless somebody else does.
I don't,
All right. So any objection to this item going on the agenda?
no objection.
Okay. Item number 6 is a request to award bid for crushed limestone to lowest bidder meeting specs. Any questions on this item?
No,
Any
sir.
No
any
objection.
objection to this item going on the agenda? Okay, we'll add that, and we do have, that concludes the regular agenda, but we do have somebody that had completed a privileges of the floor request. Miss Amanda Gomez, is she here today? Okay, you are, okay, all right, you can come on up. So she wants to talk about, you filled out 2 requests, but we're gonna condense this into 1 if that's okay, but you can come back anytime. I mean, the floor is always open for citizens at our admin meetings, but you want to talk about air conditioners and school buses and then spraying herbicide on the right of way, correct? Yeah, tap it where it says touchpad. Yep, it's on now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we always give citizens 5 minutes, so the floor is yours.
Okay, my son rides Rehoboth school bus, and I noted that we have had increasing temperatures ranging 90s to 100s. Inside the school bus, it can be over 120. Actually had him carry a thermometer one day. These kids are riding this bus, he's coming home completely soaked in sweat. That is not good for them, I'm sure you all agree. I'd like to do something about that. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. I think that every single school bus in Houston County should have an air conditioner unit provided. I also was told by a former school bus driver that they're not allowed to bring portable air conditioning units on the school bus. And even if they did, it would not cool the back of the bus. Even when the windows are open, the body heat building up within the school bus is very, very hot. So I would at least like for that to be on the agenda for if you guys need further research. I do have a plea that one way that it possibly could be paid for is by, I'm not gonna make friends this way, but is by possibly putting it above to make it more important than parks and recreation. Our children's safety is more important. Also, the second thing I wanted to bring up was the herbicide sprays along county roads. There has been an increase in liver cancer where they spray it frequently near where my mother lives. I know 4 people who've died within a few years of each other. So I would like to suggest that the funds that are given for the herbicides to be sprayed, those funds be reallocated. They would also be funds from the safety prospect that, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. The safety, the containment, the amount of medical care that's having to be given to employees in the future for cancer and so on. All those funds that could be reallocated to the mowing. We already have the equipment, as far as I know, to mow those areas instead of spraying with herbicides. And also I'd like to bring it to your attention that when they are spraying, I've witnessed this, I've walking my dog in the neighborhood, they don't cease when they see a person walking in what I consider a safe distance. Wind carries these herbicides, and I looked at their website, they are supposed to stop spraying when there's wind direction, they're supposed to be aware of that, but when you're inside of the vehicle, it's really hard to tell that. So I just think it'd be better if we had none of that. It poisons Alabama waterways and it's better in this county.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you,
One
ma'am.
question. Have you spoken with the school board about the air conditioners?
I intend to.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I just didn't know really the best route for that, so I saw your meeting and thank you for the floor.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All right, that is it for the administrative meeting, so we will adjourn and be back at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Curtis, you still hold the record.
Yeah, record is safe, Curtis. Record is safe.